So I'm going to talk about first class, first hour, those postures. We have so far 4.5. Hawking, running man, panda, and turtle, and then there's a baby bridge. I call it a half. It's the only extension in the bottom we have. Kind of weird, but it's there. And it's 4 positions. And let's say you're not going to get it in 2 hours. Yeah, so we can pretend, but the point is that you're aware and you start to work with that, and finally they make sense. And everything also what I do, and you see it online, it makes sense, it's easy to coach. It's not going to be magic that nothing any works. You still have to pummel work, do your stuff right. But I think that just like losing is more fun when you know why you're losing. So when somebody beats you up and you don't know why, it's just like, and then like I usually say, they say to enjoy that. It's very hard, but if you know why you get beat up, why there's armbar, why there's stuff, so it's like, okay, let's do it again, So losing is a big part. And if you study, teach like skills, then good coach will make you do as much errors in a short time as possible, because that's how you learn. So everybody talks about it, but I haven't found any good tools to like lose. Everybody tries to avoid losing. Yeah, but you have to lose. So how do we make losing fun? Or this is my solution, yeah? And this is kind of only one I know so far. So that's out. So there's different systems there, but so far I can explain the most with what I have. And it's debatable. Yeah, you can argue with me afterwards, we can just, but it is what it is. So we usually start, so I will talk and then we do and talk and do, so it's theory and practice. So usually I start with panda. So it's a sitting turtle, upright, side control, good. We call it like a good kid has many names. In Estonia, we have all the best sayings. Yeah. So panda is basically like a, butterfly guard is this, and when somebody's behind you, it's a panda. We call it. Somebody named it because they sell pandas eat in a jungle, So it was like, so it's always good to have names. Elbows are here, then you hang your head. And usually the like a testing should be like, if you do this, then you lose more than you have to, because you lose that game here. So elbows are here, and then this is a test. And usually I hang my arms here, but just because nobody's there. I'm an expert on quantum physics, yeah, like everybody else, I think. Yeah, so it's like when nobody's around, all options are possible. When there's an opponent, I can adjust. So that's the, arms are everywhere kind of. And that's the panda. Legs are kind of bent, so it's comfortable. This is too much hamstring flexibility, and you're leaning forward, 45 degrees is good. So that's the posture, first one I usually start. Elbows, this is you will die, and this is you're not gonna die. Because if somebody puts pressure on you, you can't stop them. And this is somehow magically works because they can't put your head on the mat. We will test them later. So, and elbows are usually out more than you usually like to, yeah? So they're out, and this is totally fine. So you can try also second one, is a turtle. We use toes and not toes, so right now I teach you seal feet turtle. They're both good. And you have the same, and this. I'm not saying ever, but if you, I'm really like, I get stressed when I see bad turtles, and then you suffer because people don't know. Don't do it. Yeah, there's no other way of polite way saying it. Just don't play that turtle. At first, it's very open and comes with responsibilities, like you have every great power. So you start with this. Elbows are there. You have the same panda rules, and that's it. Don't do this. Don't do this, and just don't. Yeah. And we can explain why it's necessary. It's testable, and it's not like that's my opinion. So this is it. And every other turtle seems to be inferior to this, what I do. And then all the jokes and stuff, everything is gone. With every other turtle, everything is available. If you have seen me rolling, I play this turtle. I just don't care. And I like to play with danger, yeah? So then I play this, and people try to attack, and they think they have something, but then I do stuff. So I play like very open game, because otherwise it's very boring. So I'd like to, this is my research, I'm going deeper and deeper to the rabbit hole. So this is my level of things. I don't recommend you do this, okay? So, to panda, let's start with this. Think about panda, legs wide. Think about turtle. Go over them. You can even connect them. We can talk about this in another class, but you can go, And you can go. You can work with those things. Just move around. It's a good warm-up also. We'll find out 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and then we bring back in. Let's go. Now you know almost everything. I know it's a contest, and so I've been accused in Reddit. That's a very weird place, and I promote turning my back all the time. Yeah, and that's usually they teach you not to turn your back, but how's that working out for you? Yeah, it's kind of like a punch in the face, a little bit like everybody's talking about. Don't turn your back. You would think that with all this preaching, don't turn your back, don't turn your back, like everybody would get it, then nobody would take each other backs, or how's that working out for you? Not really, right? It doesn't. It's like advice that goes like, yeah, it's a good advice, but that they still take my back. So you better know what to do then. So I'm doing totally different. I'm studying and researching. So of course it's better to face them. But there's techniques to beat that and go there. So you better know what to do to not freak out, to survive, and then face them again. So if you don't know that, if everything is very early and then they get there, your level plummets. And this is very common in, it's kind of bad to say, but this is very common when I ever tend to pass the guards these days, then the people's guards are usually decent. Yeah, in certain level. And then after the guard pass, they just plummets. There's different level, totally just a bunch of levels down. They have no clue what to do there. Because they don't spend much time there, they're avoiding that. But then one of the once famous comics was Louis C.K. Yeah, there's a very good interview that, he was talking about his bad days and good days, So he was saying it's very hard to make better my very good day, that when he's on a stage and everything else, everything is awesome. It's very hard to tweak it even better. But it's easier to tweak my bad day better. So he wants that even his worst act is your best day. And it's raising the average by doing this, raising the bad. So that's the defense. So if you have super duper open guard, it's very hard to make it even better. And to raise your average, just avoiding the side controls and everything escapes, and try to get my guard better. So they will never pass. It's a very, very stressful road. It's very hard to, push it up. But it's easier to raise the side control stuff, side retention, like I call it. And then the average raises. And then if your side is super good, you're not worried about turning your back and everything else, then you will be even super more aggressive in a guard, because you care less. Because you know that you have a deep, deep understanding of defense. So that is kind of what I'm all about. And turning your back and playing back forward is one of the points. So it's not terrible, it's awesome. And if you know what to do, it's kind of like you have superpowers. Usually you freak out, but there's techniques and stuff you can do. It's really, really important to have that. And then you play both this and that. And then you make your decisions. And you want to compete, then it's more here. You want to explore, more there, figure it out. Okay, so one more time. Elbows, so yeah, not this. You can a little bit move because we have to move. And if you tuck in, somebody asked, can I post? Later we can post, who cares? Because there's pressure, we can test everything with partners also. So think about just going, jiu-jitsu moves, and then your windshield wiper. Actually, you can go other side, this guard pull, and you can just continue. It's a jiu-jitsu moves, yeah? You can have a guard pull, but something about why the kanda is important is, let's say I do turtle at the top, let's say, yeah, and turtle, I want to pull guard, and now, maybe I fail and they jump over my legs. What then? It happens, there's techniques and that's what they teach. Do you freak out? No. You can go to panda. Panda is like a wrestling sit-out. If you do wrestling, NCAA, the sit-outs is a very big part of wrestling. And also, what's a nice theory that supports what I do is wrestlers tend to escape the referee positions over 60%, a little bit over. So it's not about chance. They're actually training that much that even if they give the back, they're training so much with all the Grammys and stand-ups, they're escaping 60% of times referee positions. So that's better than chance. So there is techniques, okay? So I'm trying to help the little guys here, like, you know, always crushing and always surviving kind of. So turtle, think about again. Knees pretty wide because you have to have a base to withstand push and pull. So, and elbows are there. Don't do it, yeah? Hand on the mat and always have this turtleneck, yeah? And then we call this, I don't usually in side control use this posture. I use the posture we call it Estonian guy. Yeah? It's like everybody's slouching, you know, there's no postures, we call it Estonian guy, yeah? Or is it, you know, Estonian men, typically, you know? And then you have this all the time crouching position, and then you have this. And then you do. And then your elbows are here, and then you fight. So, a little bit more, now you have more context. You rest a little bit, so minute, 2, and then we add the running man and hawking to the game. So then you have 4, and then it's ready, it's a big package. Then you know everything. Okay, let's go. Panda, turtle, turtle, panda. This is a fighting, this is what fighting looks like. Now, let's do running man. So, there's a game when your chest is kind of towards the mat, and there's that running man is part of it. Running man is borrowed from Solo. You can go stealing. So he has a very famous DVD when he talked about, he was using it like this, I think, something like this, arm was here and stuff. I don't like that. There's reasons I don't. But there's a famous saying that kind of triggered me and kind of maybe made me go that way more. He's not taking my back, he's just behind me. It was like, you know, and if he's just behind me, that's okay. He's not gonna take my back right away. So I was like, okay, they're saying it's okay. So, and usually people, my previous coaches and stuff always have said, don't stay in turtle, don't turn your back, but they were all wrong. Yeah, so now I know they were wrong because I can do that and I can be fine and there's techniques and stuff. And of course, it's like the same, but I can say the same about the mount. Don't stay in mount bottom. You know, what's the difference? You have to, in a fight, you have to transition and escape fast. Is it a mount or turtle, who cares? Mount to get punched in the face, turtle to get punched in the back and the head. Both are terrible. So later it's all about the motion. So what you're learning is those are trenches. So like, you know, like war, trench, yeah? So we're moving trench, we're teaching, this is all, by the way, action, everything is moving, but it's very hard to teach you moving things. So I teach trenches, then we teach transitions, and then I say never stop. You always move, because there's no rest in a fight. Watch boxing, wrestling, there's nobody like, there's a position, we can just hang out. Usually fight is a fight. But it's hard to teach moving things, so trenches. And both transition and a static trench has their trade-offs. So I'm going to talk about that. Anyway, running. So legs are running. The running one actually is also 2.0. First was this, and then people got leg locked and they used that as a lever to pull. So this. So I use all the, you know, spinal guard is this. Right now is this. Toes, heels. I use all the, you know, foot, so to speak. Legs are in, and also now it's kind of like a reverse hawking in that sense. I'm trying to shorten this side and I'm lengthening this side. So I'm not doing this because the elbow. I'm trying to close this side and I'm lengthening that other side. And my head is here and I'm kind of looking to the mat. And I can play running man towards people and I can play running man away from people. But if I do running man towards people, everybody goes behind, so it's, you know, I have to deal with that. And then there's different distances. There's a running man this. I play this a lot against when somebody's my back, and there's no back takes. If I want, then there's no crucifixes if I want. It seems obvious that they do the crucifixes, but they can't. This is I lose. This is I'm not losing. There's a big difference. And then I wrist fight. It's never, this is a luxury you can't have. 2 posts on a mat. You need only 1. And then it's a wrist fight. Yeah? So it's always fighting this. And then it's another thing. That's the highest post we have. Usually the opponent is somewhere there. Yeah? So, running man, So you do this, you go elbow, we'll talk about later what it is. Otherwise, you push it in and then you lose. So think about this. And shoulder, this is bad, and you have to be as much parallel to the mat as possible. Okay? And then you can do it yourself also. Running man, and then think about how would you go running man to turtle? Or turtle, somebody pushes you down, pushes you, and how do you fall? You can fall to running man. Yeah, so you can be pulled and pushed. Because if I give you context, a turtle can be broken. I don't like to say it. And it can be pulled towards the shoulder, yeah, and it can be pulled towards the hip. Usually that's what they teach, yeah. They break it on the hip. It's actually really, really hard to do. And if I break it to the hip, then there's a panda. That's the point. That's the sit out. Yeah. The wrestlers also do. If they break the referee position, they'll sit out. And if I break it, it's more in the shoulder area. If I break it to more shoulder, they can land a running man. Yeah, and still get turtle. Go back. Yes. But what happens in jiu-jitsu? Now it's fun to lose and laugh at yourself because do it to me so I can play better foolish. So if they pull me over, pull. You fall like this, what happens? They get seatbelts, and then it's a back foot, yeah? And then it's like, jiu-jitsu is so complicated, blah, blah, blah. It's just, you just land in running one, nothing happens. So pull. Seatbelt. Fight and fight. So I move through trenches. And if I can be pushed, turtle. So somebody, grabs the head, maybe grabs the ankle, and they want to run you over. So then you land a running man. Then I have to lift you and stuff, and you can go belly down now. Pump, get out again, running man invert, go. Invert. So invert actually is a running man. So go running man. So invert, yes. It happens, running man, invert comes from running man. So they're all postures that I think you know, but you haven't just figured it out. They can be static also. So it's all jiu-jitsu. And if I say hawking is jiu-jitsu, I will show you later. Hawking is a minimal invert. So try running man. Now you have a little bit context. And on your own, think about running man. Somebody pulls, visualize this. How do I fall? And then somebody pushes, how do I fall? We will do this also with Martin at some point. Today is just first class, postures, and second class is transitions and drills. So I prep you for that a little bit. Okay? Let's go. So usually I don't like to answer questions right away. Somebody asks, what about this and that? Then I usually say, figure it out yourself. It sounds really unpolite to think. Yeah, but this is the best way. Because I make you suffer. And you go like, because I explained everything. I know I'm explaining also a little bit long, because it's in a video later, you can watch. So it's like, introduction to the system. But then I force you to go like, okay, what did it say? You try. I force you to go like, what about this? What about here? Maybe this. So you have to go through everything to know why this is right. So doing the wrong things actually helps you to learn. So this is, I let you suffer, and then now I explain, now it makes sense because you tried. And then I'm willing to answer your questions. But first, I always make you try first. I don't want to give you answers, I want to make you understand why it's that. Okay? So, running, relax. Alright, so, knees together. So that's why it's 2.0. I like to name things 2.0. Maybe there's like iOS to like 5.1 in one point. If there's something revolutionary, we understand it's different, then we're going to change it. So that's being honest. It's never a static system, always evolving. Hawking 2.0 is last year August. Yeah, it took me 3.5 years to figure out Hawking 2.0. Okay, so anyway, so knees are closed because if it's open, yeah, there's a lever. You can also play it if you have more experience. I don't mind. It can be a trap. So somebody pulls and then you actually invert, and you can, because you can box like this. Yeah, I'm not a boxer. I understand it a bit, but you can play like this boxing if you know boxing. Yeah, but beginners usually do this. But then if you know already, you can play around, and if the lever is different. So everything is kind of like, I don't like to say everything is available, do whatever you want. It's a very idiotic sentence. But in that sense, later you can play with the system and whatever, it's your style will be later. I'm going to teach you this and your style will be different. You do your own choices. So, knees closed, knees are running, and it seems to be like this is actually quite hard if you stiff-legged. This is actually quite hard to lift. I can lift it from here, but then I'm not in side control anymore. Yeah, so I cannot lift it from this being close. There's no lever from his. There's just let's build it. Legs closed. This we have to talk about because if it's bad, it goes through. So seatbelts, I don't worry about seatbelts. They're not dangerous in that sense. But you have to have layers of defense stopping it, and then seatbelt happens, everything else. And so typical is this: if your shoulder is up, it's a pulling mechanism, and then usually this is I do, so shoulders parallel. And I have to see your elbow tip here. If your elbow is front of you, it's kind of dead arm, and then you can't be too parallel because it can be pulled back because the arm is kind of blocking your turning. So usually elbow, I have to see the elbow, then you can actually turn even more parallel. And think about lengthening this. This is a length, like a long side. This is a short side. That's how I explain it at the moment. Yeah. So this later it has to be actually on a muscle because we're gonna test, and if it's not, it goes through. So we will test. So and the seat belts, everything works with the gi, by the way. If you think, oh, it's only no gi system, bring it. Try to choke me in a gi. Yeah. So it's like it's weird. But everything works in a gi. And lapel stuff are giving us a little bit, weird answers. I'm trying to figure out, but we're doing because lapel is very new in that sense. But X chokes and baseball chokes and loop chokes and not loop, Glock chokes. What happens here? Bow and arrow chokes, nothing. Yeah, you can defend and you lose, and then you know why. Okay, so this is a good running man. Sad to say, actually. So Gil is doing a good job. Yeah, almost. So. And then you can do one transition I can show you already is a stick and running man. Go. This is like having a heart attack on a mat, yeah? So stick and running man. See when I touch the head, he goes, go. So I'm only doing good jokes. So no jokes. Yes, no jokes. Anyway, so that's also transition. And you can go from here, example, I'm going to like second class, but I give you a context. You can go running man, invert, running man. Go invert, and running man. And invert, and running man. So this is all jiu-jitsu. If you go invert, stop, and then go turtle. And this is how you build escapes. So it's all in jiu-jitsu, kind of how you move. We mapped it out, and then you just figure it out and add techniques. So this is me trying to teach you footwork of jiu-jitsu. Like, let's call it escaping footwork. Because everybody's like, punching and kind of sweeping and left and right submissions, but it's really hard to throw punches in a boxing when your legs won't work. So if you're always in balance, always, you move, and always then you can do everything. You can throw any combinations, you know how to balance yourself, then everything works. So if you know this, I can teach you pretty much everything. What comes to bottom, at least. And if I teach you this footwork, everything is good. And then techniques are easier because they come for balance, and now it's just jab and cross because this works. So that's that kind of also. Anyway, so a little bit more running man, and you have a context. Try invert. Try to combine turtle running man, turtle turtle invert, running man something. So combine it a little bit, but just concentrate on a good structure. But also, if you're bored, connected everything to everything now. We have 3 positions: panda, turtle, running man. Try to really a little bit connect everything to everything. Okay, let's go. 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Sorry. And the last one. Not the last one, we have a baby bridge more. But baby bridge is extension, so it's really interesting that we have a sprawl, it's a top. We have a baby bridge in the bottom, so extension comes with a price because you open certain things up, but still the extension is very awesome. So this is like Vin de Peter inspired. And he was doing this Leuven camp, and I was like, God damn it looks so solid. And I was crunching that time a lot, so he was extending. He was like, everything is a baby bridge. I was like, this crunching also works. And so, and then he was trying to he studied more like, I inspired him more to study like crunching, and he was like, I have to figure out why the baby bridge works. So with Wim, we get along because he's very mechanical. So, and then we kind of sometimes debate things with him because I like the way mechanical he is, and what angles and stuff, so it's really interesting. Because I think we're after the same thing with it. Anyway, so now the hawking. Hawking is the latest. It took me like 3.5 years to figure it out. Fun story is like the last year Iceland camp. I think Daddy's Kimura was the last drop in a bucket, and I was like thinking that it has it, and then Daddy's still like Kimura. I was like, God damn it, and I still don't have it. And then in August actually figured it out. And I also created Ronald, my friend, and also black belt under me. So it's a joke, but okay. Yes. So I actually caused him a shoulder injury because he was trying the early walking stuff and early Kimura escape, and actually I caused him an injury that he has to recover like 6 months, whatever. So early things were brutal, but now we know. So definitely Friday class is how we know how to defend Tarik Plata, Kimura, seat belt, arm bars, side control, scarf arm bars, like everything, basically. And if you ask me how do I attack, I don't know. Because if I take my positions, it's really hard. And so it's really confusing to actually see jiu-jitsu. Even side control, let's say, side control triangles, you step over the triangle. If I do hawking, it won't work. Yeah, it's a weird thing to say, actually. Yeah. So I'm famous for those things, kind of. So hawking. Who laughed? Somebody laughed right now. Yes. So elbows are the same. Now this is one that usually disturbs people because your elbow is so open. It's not. So just believe me. Yeah, don't believe evidence. Just believe authority. Yeah. See, you get joked with it. Yeah. But that was actually not a joke. But okay. So anyway, this is again like Running Man was. You lengthen one side and you crunch one side. This is mount escape also. If you use your frames and stuff, you can do mount escapes, foot lifts, foot drags. It's basically all there. So here you have this same thing, and this is bad. You get destroyed. This is awesome, and you have this diagonal right now. Boom and boom. If you would be here, you would have this, because this you have, and this is you make it short. Everything, your neck and. This is bad. This is a neck crank. Later, this is awesome. And this. And now you're gonna wrist fight here, clicks, and now you can, you can shrimp, you can go forward. And what I call about minimal invert is you stand there. So if somebody stands up, just hypothetical situation. I want to pull guard. Yeah. So it's a minimum. So if he goes there, I can also go. But I can do a minimal invert. And the minimal invert happens more when they're smashing the legs. You close, just step over the legs, like this. Yeah, you have a hawking, and you go out. So you can shrimp. This is a jiu-jitsu. This is shrimp. This is minimal invert, and you can go more also if you want. But usually it takes the longest time to people understand it. It just looks so weird. But it's like full jiu-jitsu that you usually do. So, think about leg. This is extended usually. Toes, close. Some people can keep their knees close. I can't because I'm a little bit bigger these days. So elbows, and this is important. And test is this. So if you do this, this looks weird now because it's not symmetrical. Now this is equal. So it's a good point, and then we have to understand why the elbow is there. So try hawking, then think about hawking from left to right. Then think about hawking to panda, hawking to running man, then just try to already connect things too. I like hawking these days more because I like to play back on my mat, back towards the mat, because it's just fun, because I played turtles so long and pandas, so it's so safe for me. So now I'm trying to be more in danger, and they're kind of on me, and then I'm figuring stuff out. So, but I'm not flat. Yeah, flat would be this is terrible, and so this is awesome. And one theory also is how the angles work. Bad, because you get flat, pinned, everything, yeah? Bad, good, running man stuff. Bad, totally sideways. This is terrible, yeah? The seatbelts, kimuras, arm bars, everything is here. Then, angle again, running man stuff, and this is terrible. So, everything terrible is my transition, and everything angle is my posture. So, top guy tries to do reverse. He tries to push me into those transitions, and then avoid giving me those positions. And what's the answer is, if somebody asks me, how do I beat this system? It's in transitions, like everything else in any sports. So if I have steady position, it's very, very hard to kill, but you have to catch me while I move transitions. Very famous match, if you know Pan American, Gobrina versus Rafa Mendes. And Gobrina did a guard attention move. He's a very good guard, yeah, maybe you know. So he did this, and then inverted to the guard. And while he did this stretch, Rafa Mendes armbarred him. That is how crazy that transition was. One of the best guys in a guard and one of the best guys in passing, and it's just one slip, you push, you get the guard back, and they get your arm. So everybody's vulnerable in transitions. That's how boxing and wrestling works. So steady positions, push and pull, make them wobble, make them go elbow up, and that's how you win. Yeah. So that's the usual answer. It pushes more towards sports, and I consider jiu-jitsu as a sport, not an art. Yeah. So our sport in a very nice way, not medals and stuff, but just action, sweaty and everything. So try hocking, go left and right, figure everything out, connect it to everything, and pretend you understand. Let's go. Sometimes they're north-south, and they're so I can't lift them. But I don't have so what you're going through is all normal. You're like, I think this fits good. It's like, what is this, And then I'm claiming it will be natural for you in a couple of months. And then again, I know this looks different. And I also got a week ago, I got a message that this is not like pure jiu-jitsu. This is something different. I think it's jiu-jitsu. It works. You can roll with me. You can see the evidence. We can explain with this all the structure. We can explain so many things. It's just evidence-based. It's like not opinion-based. We can test. So, and if somebody has ideas and stuff, I'm willing to hear, and then we're gonna upgrade and stuff if something is worthy. But so far we're testing and everything works. So that's why we're running with this. And so I can explain everything in side control with those postures. And then we can play towards people and away from people. Yeah. So we have both games, because you know that shrimping towards people is easier when you go away from them for a second and then go jab and then cross back. Not just jab, jab towards. You go away and then turn in. So turning away is like a really bad dogma that people keep preaching. Don't turn your back. Don't turn your back. And that's why I said, how's that working out for you? It's just clearly back takes happen. So that advice doesn't mean anything. It's a good advice, I think, but it lost context. What it actually means. Because maybe, turn your back, but know what to do. Not turn your back and not what, So it's a weird thing that jiu-jitsu has, like keeping your knees close and playing open guard. But it doesn't mean that what it actually means, because or connect, have you heard connect your elbow to your knee? It's usually, I don't agree with that. This is, no. This is what it is. So it might, what is the knee? I think knee is this. So if you do this, but it's actually escaping is different. If you do escapes, they usually go past. You go usually here, and then you escape. You don't go here. If you watch matches and stuff with people. So it's like certain things do not make sense. And they have to be said better. So I like to kind of pick on things. So, hocking. You need this. Everything has to be like crunch this. Because think about, invert comes from here. That's why it's minimum invert. See the legs? And if Ville wants to go invert, the shoulder moves a little bit, kind of running manish. See? Now he's back in the guard. Yeah? I can teach inverts like this to beginners. I actually teach backwards. I never teach invert like this. Because most people in the beginners, they have trouble doing inverts. So I teach different inverts. I actually, this is called butterfly guard. I teach invert, just a butterfly run. And go legs overhead. And now fall to panda. I teach invert like this. Go invert, sorry, go legs overhead. This is easier invert for people, even the legs off the mat. And then they move there. Because from panda to invert is actually harder transition. If you put like beginners there and try to go invert, everybody struggles because it's hard to go this way, but it's easy to teach backwards. But they want them to have success. And then I teach them also forwards, okay? So there's usually better methods. Because if you're struggling, it's not your fault, by the way. It might be actually your coach's fault and the way they're teaching. Because, you know, if people don't get, it's not like, oh, I do everything right and then people are stupid. It's not that easy, you know? It's a really easy excuse. Maybe it's like methodology, maybe it's stuff, maybe it's our fault, actually, that people don't understand, okay? So, this is good. Arms, you can rest. They don't have to always be here, just this is good. Legs and everything is crunching. So, and now you can go walking to running man. It's already, go. Yes, to running man. Yes. Yeah. You're gonna, lost yourself there. So, and then legs, this is already running man legs, so switch legs. So default would be this in hockey. But you can also play this, go, switch, and then comes running man, and then, you know, everything else. Inverts panda. Yeah, so hawking, go hawking panda. Hawking panda, yes. See, he scissored his legs together like a inert, little bit, go. Yeah, and why would you do panda? You will know, why would I sit up like this? Sitting up is actually very cool, and it's one of the directions they don't expect. If I'm here, weight is upper body, then maybe you go to turtle more, because the hip is light, you know, head is heavy. But if somebody does this to you, whichever way, you know, weight is on a hip, it's very hard to go to turtle. But then it's magical to sit up, go. And if he even sits up and hip highs a little bit, legs there, I actually do this. I just pretend a little bit falling more, but he can change the angle of things. So go, if I push it, boom. So hip highs are very awesome. And I think you do sit-ups, but you just don't do it in side control. So let's say around the pass, go. So you do sit-ups, yeah? This is a good sit-up. But then question is, if you fail, what then? If you mess up here, what then? I know you want to turn back and stuff, but what is a fail-safe? So if you mess up, you can, you know, go, oh shit, I failed and now I'm here. So I'm still like not giving my back. Yes, I did a mistake, but then I can survive and get back to the guard and then try it again. But not like if I do a defense and if I fail, there's nothing, I just die right away. How do we encourage people to try things if the one failure means you're dead? So how do we play guard if you try to attack and any attack you get past, then it's like you're done, there's no escapes anymore because you're just doing stuff. And also what will change in you is the way you do passing. Let's say, have you seen those YouTube videos? So let's say knee slide, yeah? Somehow they get here. Then, I'm not actually kidding, there's many places they're getting this, and then, you know, they're passing guard. Yeah, so that's usually how you do these passing. So, with hockey, no? So I can just do nothing also. And he's not gonna get a sign, like, let's say even, have you seen those things? It's all over YouTube, it irritates me to the held them back. So if you go sometimes like this, and then somehow they get, you know, underhooks and crossface right away at the end. So, now you know this, they do Toronto, go. I'm good. I have this, I actually control. There's no underhooks, there's no far side arm bars. I'm good. There's no crossface even. There's no choke here because of my arm. Go cross. Because the neck makes it short, like a wrist fight. I just play. I'm not flat. I'm not giving him underhook. So usually the way I teach passes, then we do this in our club. Then we do a pass. Then we end up in hawking. We end up something else. We don't never finish in crossface underhook because it's unrealistic. That means the opponent is 5 mistakes in a row. That's bad. So if you get a pass, but nothing else, yeah. So then after you know this, all those videos, they're quite funny. Because you watch every video ends up with crossface underhook their finishing position. It shouldn't be like that. Okay, so I think we can do it better. So soon it's half an hour, so we start to drill and give context with partner. So a little bit more. Think about hawking. Now you know more context. So arms are here, head very important. Like to crunch, and then this is minimum, this is maximum. Arm is this. Later we can add this very strong. This is flaring. And now, sitting up, and let's say somebody pulls you back from panda, you can visualize that. Panda? Somebody pulls you from panda, running man. Okay? Because panda is like, I'm meant to hold you here. I'm riding you like a wrestling. If I take the pressure off, then that's usually people ask, I will pull you. If I take the pressure off, we'll have an invert right away. Right away invert. If there's no pressure, he's gone. So my thing is to ride him, like in turtle, it's a ride. So if I pull him, running man, if he's super late hawking, if he's super late, he lands here. But he doesn't land and I don't get crossface under. Yeah, he just lands on nothing. And then I have to fight. I have to fight for underhooks and stuff. Yeah, so that's why I call it side retention. Now, it's a different word play. So think about that, last 3-4 minutes. Connect everything to everything, a little bit context, you're visualized already. So let's play, let's go. Yes. So now we start to do the transition and stuff. I didn't know if I can right away do it, because maybe some people joined the second class because some people already know, but seems like the group is the same anymore. So now some content wrote to this. Turtle, please. Yes. So actually, I'm gonna leave like a cliffhanger here. We're gonna change the turtle. There's something that bothers me in turtle. We're gonna change it. I'm not gonna tell you what, but I'm just gonna test it, but it already works. And we're just gonna have to understand the laws and stuff. But we're gonna change the turtle again. Actually, better. This also stays, but we can make it better. And so that's kind of what my research is about. So now let's test a little bit. Push and pull. If the knees are close knees. Yeah, there's no turtle. I can pull and push. So knees out, the knee good. So you also, if I use force, you should use force also. Yeah, it's not like you can be a noodle and win. So use the force. If I pull, resist. If I throw, like, and try to do like a real thing, not like you're gonna bomb rush from there and you're gonna like, yeah, because they're gonna just pull guard. Yeah, so try to be like a more real scenarios. I'm here and try to push. Yeah, kind of basic, kind of testing, and then pull, because now the pulling is even weird because the elbow is there. If the elbow is on a mat, there's a handle. It's really nice to pull. Yeah, if the elbow is there, it's like you only get like fingertips here, and it's really weak actually pull. So that pull is even gone. Yeah, so it's like maybe you want to pull, and then that's the thing you're gonna test. Then you're gonna test underhooks. You should not go through here, even with your knees, and it's tested. So if the elbows are in more, so then usually you can push them in and you can dig underhooks soon. Yeah, so they should be like a wedge between your thigh and your back, and you use everything you've got to just like yeah, and use your push your forearms to the hip flexors. Use every force to defend. No underhooks. That's the first cue I usually tell people. Don't give me underhooks. I just control you. So it's like, and if I'm going like a, like a jackhammer here, this is already, bad because they're gonna invert. Definitely they're all invert. Yeah. So he has an invert machine. Yeah. So yes. Leave my legs alone. Yes. I'm old. So I'm old. Yes. So think about real attacks. So from that distance, you might have like but then there's no pressure. So think about here, think about there, and also this shouldn't work. If the elbows are in, a little bit in, I can still manage, yeah? And you have a back take a little bit, but you can actually put it in the right place, and it's really like, it won't go in. You have to like really do this, but then they escape, because there's no pressure. And so this also cancels hooks later. We'll test it shortly. So try two things, help each other, switch on your own, take a partner, so push, pull, and think about hooks, underhooks, you know, and then the knees. Just test lightly. If they're good, you can go harder. But just be adaptive pressure, so to speak, yeah? So let's go, switch up your own, let's go. The goal is to drill adaptive resistance, not spar. I have to test, and as soon as possible we will switch. If they get the point, let's go, I switch. There's no point to like 5 minutes, I just try and that's not the point. We're not going to 100% yet. If it works, 50, it's already good. We just have to fine tune it now. And then the problem was already like, if the knees are a little bit wider, like closer, then you may fall. So figure out the width, this testing thing now with pressure. Yeah, you always have to also look towards the opponent. Little. The counterbalance is also the pull. So just test it. Just go here, it works, here, nothing, switch. If both of you switch, go a little bit harder. But don't go sparring mode. Yeah? And if something is bad, stop, fix it, then drill again. Yeah? Don't reinforce bad habits on him. Okay? So, because they're learning new things. And if you do a good job, they will return the favor. Okay, so that's about the hooks. What comes to the neck? I do this, yeah? It's very easy to kill everything in turtle. You only have basically like leg tilts. That's why we're changing turtle. You know, Dars, Mars, Bars, Lars, yeah? You have those chokes. And you have anaconda, you have guillotines, and if you just do this, they will not happen. Yeah, if you open the elbow, a lot of things can happen. So, how we kill everything, basically. And this is just the first stage. There's a later stage. We have a Dars and anaconda escaping section also, I think. We're coming up, putting on the site. So, guillotines. Go. I keep my head up because you want to see. So, go guillotine. I know they can, you know, I know they can crank my neck, but right now guillotine is gone because I do this, yeah? So now, because I want a wrist fight, I do also this. And with my Estonian guy posture, I don't leave my elbows from this, but right now I'm talking upright more, so I do this. So now, if you do guillotines from the turtle, you see me like wrist fighting and grabbing his fingers. By the way, this is legal, and you should do it all the time. Yeah, I do it everybody hates me for it. And I don't mind, I can take that pressure, yeah? So, this is awesome. If somebody has finger injury, don't do it. You know, just be nice. But this is awesome. You can grab, not 1, 2, 3, but all 4. Awesome, everywhere. So, now for guillotine. You just grab his fingers, his knuckles, neck is short. Go, go with Dars.
How the hell
Go, just go Dars. She needs underhook for Dars. Go anaconda. Go seatbelt. Okay? So nothing is there. So I'm going to sit up a little bit. So think about this turtle. So see like a guillotine, do this, grab fingers, they don't change. Dars, nothing changes because they want underhook and a neck now. Yeah, they want anaconda, it's this arm getting short, long, and now this, nothing changes. You just do this, and then I play a little bit, do this, and nothing works. So this is first layer, and that means you have to break it open with sports. Push and pull in transitions, everything is better, yeah? Static position, super hard to attack. So have that slowly and build it up. Don't go 100% because they're learning. So this, fix it first, and just try guillotines. Oh, nothing's there. Dars, oh, elbow is there, and grab my fingers. It's literally, oh, stand up. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. So Dars means this underhook, and then neck, yeah? Wait, neck, and then I neck, grab the neck. So I do this. But first of all, there's no, underhook here, but I grab the fingers like this from the knuckles. I just do this, yeah? And they won't get, I don't do this. This is already too much in. So really, I grab the fingers and everything is good, just block. You can have 2-on-1 even not moving this elbow. So try to prep your partner for that. Really slowly, let's kill everything, and this is basically turtle. We'll see if you get the hooks or not. Let's go. Let's deal with hooks first, and then I know you want like maybe hooks in, and then I know you want ankle picks. That's why we're changing turtle. But if you do ankle picks right now, then the answer is usually running man. And also, you can hide your ankles by going to panda. That's what wrestlers do, yeah? They do, because referee position, they grab ankle, they slide to hit sit-ups. So it follows the same rules. Anyway, so panda, sure. Panda is a weird thing, and it's Edward Atteles inspired, watch his matches. Basically, we have only one guy in the world for evidence. That's super weird. But it's that one guy has 100 matches. So it's still good evidence. But it's just, Edward Atteles is the one guy that can do it in the highest level of a sport, play back towards the opponent. And Keenan guys just, they can't take his back. Yeah. So this is all he's inspired. I don't think he plays that much panda than I do, but definitely, you know, he has that. But I made it as a position for myself. But he usually moves. You know, we actually have a name called Tellus, and just how he moves if you watch his matches. Study his things, and if you understand the structure, what he does makes more sense, because he's playing very open for you to mimic if you're just studying turtle, and you get in a lot of trouble. But he just doesn't care. He's that good, yeah? So it's just amazing that one guy can do it in the highest level. And then usually when I argue with people, then it's like, show me the evidence who plays back forward, then it's a tell us, oh, it's just only one guy. And then it's like, if you even, you know, people are sometimes stupid, you know, sometimes. If you give them argument that tell us, they will change their arguments, you know? But if you change the argument, you're already lost. So it's like, you give them evidence, what they need, but it's not good enough, you know? No, it's good enough. Watch the matches. So because it's done against the very best of the best. Yeah. I think they even had Tellus and Peña had a match when Tellus took Peña's back. So talking about level, yeah. So guys worth studying. Anyway, panda, go behind. So panda is a sitting turtle, upright side control, and usually they have to pressure me. And that's when I don't have elbows here, I will die because here, and I can't stop their pressure. Yeah, it's like back is just broken. So if I have my wedges here, if they put pressure on me, they cannot fold me. Okay, be nice now. Yeah. So and now the main thing is underhooks. Go underhooks. Don't tickle. Yes. Okay, other side. Okay, so just underhooks. Just I lean in. You know, everything else. What you also have is a lot of you do this. Don't do it. Do this and do less cross. This is what Jiu-Jitsu teaches. I think it's second. This is first. So if arm comes, I protect, and if this fails, I go. But this comes with a price. Many times your elbow is leaving the place, and then you're done. Double attacks. So this is actually very rare, I see, but this is first. I do this first. This is passive. You can't grab their wrist, basically, if they're coming through this. If they go around, yes, you can, but if they go inside this, I use my arms all the time like this. And then cross, yeah? But then I have to know that elbow cannot leave. Or I leave with my body, it's different rules. Anyway, so, underhooks. So, and now, let's say he goes for a neck, slowly. Go, see, that's the neck, yeah? Go for the other neck. Go underhooks. Go neck. Go seat belt. Yeah, and some people go now around for the neck. Go around, really big circle to the neck. No, it's just like, wait. Go like around and then just go. So some people go this and then go, you know, then you miss it. But then the arm is so far, do it again. Then you can grab it. Yeah, because they have to go around, then it's there. But you won't let them in from here, the easiest one. So it's really, really slow. I do two. So make them first comfortable. If somebody has a pancake flexibility, just don't go there, yeah? So you get stuck a little bit. So, underhooks, no. Keep the pressure, no. And then a little bit, neck, grab fingers. I teach him, yeah? Grab fingers, he understands, and now I can do a multiple. Okay, here, maybe this. And also you can do front headlocks from panda, yeah? Like the same as turtle, all those attacks. Guillotines, front guillotines, this, like the same as turtle, just upright. Only test this really slowly. It takes a while, and most of you will ask, what if I pull you back? That means the pressure is off, you can go, or if you miss that, you have running man, you have turtle, yeah, or you have hockey. If it's something like if somebody ends up actually pushing it up, yeah, so he chooses hawking because Raul trains hawking. Yes. Anyway. That was not a joke. It was a compliment. Okay. So, anyway, test it slowly, and they should not get in. If you have elbows here, then usually I can push them in. So let's only talk about hooks, and we'll see those underhooks. Sorry, and we'll see if we cover everything because we also have limited times. I wanna, I have to give you like a little bit taste and keep you interested also. So only this at the moment. So turtle and panda are the same. Let's go. Let's say usually it's easier. Gi actually brings some like loop chokes that we're figuring out. Some loop chokes I understand, we can kill it in hocking, and some I haven't figured out, so it's still ongoing research. But when I talk about the gi, and Jorgen also asked me that, so and then I just can give you my best answer because anyway, so about the chokes. So if they get the choke, they want this, yeah. So then it's a wrist fight. A little bit easier to do it with a gi, with no gi at first, and then understand the situation, and then add the gi because it's a different layer, maybe complexity. But so anyway, let's fight. I do the same thing. It's really weird, yeah. So even if they get the gi, now the question is, what do you do, yeah? Now there's multiple answers right now. I can just do nothing and fall to hawking because if I get this, because what they need now, they need this leg, yeah? Go for a choke. They need something like this. So when I do this, go, and now there's nothing there. I don't mind that grip at all. So, and sometimes I let people grab my gi because then they show me their intent. I know that arm cannot be anywhere else. So usually I don't mind, I just give them, and this is you telegraphing like, wait, it's like boxing, you're gonna go like, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm like, yeah, I know it's coming. So if you grab me, I know what you want. So go for a choke, go. See? And sometimes because they chase, we have those situations that I move and then it's like, oh, I'm in the bottom. Because then it's a transition thing, yeah? Then it's more experience and, I need more time. Also, go choke. You can also go into the choke, but not leaving this out, yeah? Because they get seatbelts and stuff. You can just go. Also, clock chokes. Yeah. Turtle clock chokes. Go. This is a very awesome choke, yeah? And go back. So, if you have this, clock choke needs underhook. They need something on this side. So, clock choke, get underhook, clock choke. Yeah, so here, clock choke. This usually sucks. So, now I give them the same grip. I keep my head wrong at the moment, not looking there, and I don't give them underhook. Go. Full force, go. So, he has to win kind of walk far, but he was struggling. Now I do this. Go. Nothing, yeah? And then I can also wrist fight. Go for a clock choke. So, and Tellus plays also this. This is very funny when somebody does this too, like boom, and he plays this in the matches, but like, just you can't grab the gi. It's very funny. So there's a layers, Then when they get this everything, and because an underhook can roll out all the time. So it's only kind of dangerous when I give you also a different example. I hope you will not choke me in public, Go, take the back. Choke. Go another. Let's go this way. Let's go this side. And just with the legs, go. With the arms, go. Yes. And now, what happens with hawking? Oh. Take that. Choke. Choke. Go. Go. Full force. Ah, shit. Okay. So, give me the hawking. Go for choke. Go. I don't mind. Yeah? And then I have my arms also. This is the power of hawking. This is what we're discovering at the moment. I can just have, plus I have arm wrist fights and everything else. And then it's this, just like, that's why we call it. The guy was a genius. so is this move. Yeah, what comes to hawking. And anyway, and then it's a theory of everything. And I'm kind of thinking of theory of almost everything in the bottom. Yeah, as a, counter the book of universe, so to speak. So that hawking is in a way very powerful when it comes to chokes. And Jürgen, where you are? And that only best answer I have for a gi, people get this on gi on you. And now it's a rodeo. And I don't mind. Because they can drag me along. I don't fear any attacks from here. But it's just hard, they're controlling the head. They're like a king of wrestling, double underhooks. Yeah, if you get double underhooks on somebody, they've done a lot of mistakes. Usually, what will happen is a very fun game. I cannot teach you today, but we can teach you later sometimes when we meet. Go, drag me around. This is always hawking. This is running man. This is turtle. This is running man. This is guard. This is panda. I go back again. I don't mind because for attack they need to change the grip. They need to go for a neck and stuff. Yeah. So that's usually the rodeo what happens. It's a very fun game. Thanks. So I just move around, and then they have to go for arm bars and stuff. They need a different grip. And then I just move. I don't know how I get out. I just survive. That's the first thing. And then I go, how do I escape? Escape comes from calm. Not like, oh shit, I'm in danger, and then I escape. No, first, I don't care. And then it's like, how do I get out? And then I start to look for patterns, what they do. Go left and right, and then I figure out, map them out. Takes a little bit while, a minute, a couple, and then I can build up my combinations. Like in boxing. First round, feel it out. How to react, boom, boom, and then start to pick them apart, the combinations that work against them specifically with their timing. So this is out, because I never know how to get out. So that's about the gi. But just as a gi, it doesn't matter, but I think today we don't have time to go there a little bit. So just know that you can just wrist fight and everything else. But they need underhook. Everything is about that. That's why usually when you have rolled with it this week, so I usually give you always the feedback, just don't give me underhooks. I think many of you have heard that today already. Yeah? So that's how I control people. So now, running man, we have some fun. Running man is again, everything is away from me. Running man? Everything is away from me. It's more static. When we play hawking, tomorrow we can also add this. It's like more action-paced because I'm facing them. So now your job here, try to lift them. It's actually quite hard. You have to lift like this, but then they go inward. And your key is to go through here because you want underhook. And you think maybe you get the lapel. That arm is usually wrist fighting there in the bottom. Your shoulder is in a way here. This, yeah? And then it's really, really hard to get in, to get a far lapel grip. So test that there's nothing here because they have to squeeze. And that elbow has to be on a muscle. If it's just pressing this way, then it goes through. But if it's just on the leg a little bit here, because now it's on a muscle, and then it has to go through the leg, the elbow, it can't go there. Okay, it's not here, it's on top of the muscle. And now, usually it's like, and then it's really weird because the escapes are invert. Invert, yeah, escapes if I'm doing this, panda. Right away, panda, invert, everything else. Also, and very fun with like stick and running. Go, stick running. See what happens? Don't go there. To the end. But stick running man leads to underhooks. So running man. Slowly, stick, running man. See what happens? Where I end up. And that's very dangerous for me actually. Yeah? And you have other stuff. So that's usually how it is. But your goal today is to have a static position. So try to go through that and have a realistic aspect of being also right at the top of them, riding them, not being far away and just jackhammering through. So keep close and test and switch, maybe sides, your own, but be a good partner. Okay, let's go. So, now we're getting in a really weird territory because you guys are getting nasty. What about neck cranks? Yes, I know, I've been there. I've answered those questions, and I say I don't care. But let's say you're not there yet. Because now you go like the most dangerous attacks against not their good posture. Okay? And then it's like not fair at the moment. So then if you want a neck crank, do it on me. Ask me, Priit, can we roll? Can I do neck cranks to you? I will say yes, but I will also do them back to you. Then it's even. Yeah? So if I have a chance, then it's an even fight. I don't mind those challenges, but keep it. And the neck cranks is the next level. If everything else is broken, you will start. Everything else is fixed. You will start to go a little bit rougher. This is also what Aaron Millen told me, that this just forces people going rougher on you. And but that's the sport. That's why we have boxers and wrestlers. They look like this because it's a sport. And that's what athletes do. They collide, the particle collider, yeah? And then you have mistakes. If the pace is slow, nobody does mistakes. That's why everybody is a super conditioned that we can push each other and then we have mistakes. And then we can throw each other. If the Olympic level wrestlers would wrestle like this, nobody would get anything. Because they're so strong, nobody gets anything. So that's what I mean. Jiu-jitsu is like, now the fun part starts because we can fix the defense. And now there's no, like a slow jiu-jitsu. You have to fight for things. You have to jump to things. You have to attack during transitions. If you change the environment, that will change your habits. So if you fix the steady positions, then your mind right away goes. Either, two versions, two people I've met. If I fix everything, one people go, I just go harder. Knees to the ribs and everything else, yeah? Or people go like, attack transitions. And that's what you have to do since white belt to the black belt. And then you can do, that skill is necessary to the black belt level, attacking transitions. So we can change the environment, introduce this, and start to train white belts this environment, and they get better, in purples and stuff, they attack in transitions. That's the skill you want to have. Yeah, you want to hit, in boxing, you want to hit people that move. Not wait, and now I'm going to hit you, yeah? So you're going to always hit where the head's going to be. So that's usually what they say. So how do we develop those skills? Because jiu-jitsu is taught usually very static. Okay, now I'm going to teach you some drills that we usually do. And maybe I show the hooks, but I cannot do everything at the moment. So now we're going to do this. You have a running man, turtle and panda. Try to move between them, and I will do call-outs. I will go underhook. Then you only hunt for underhooks. They can concentrate on underhooks. Oh, nothing else. If the neck is open, don't touch the neck. Just concentrate fixing the elbows. Then I say neck. Then you only go for neck, but slowly, yeah? Then if I say seat belt, then you can go seat belt, anaconda is a seat belt, Darce is a seat belt, back takes is a seat belt, yeah? So you can hunt that. If I say free, then go for everything you want, kind of in your own rhythm. So underhooks, neck, seat belt, free. This is how we teach complexity. Yeah, so we reset the mind, and then we go free also, autonomy part. Okay? And then we have a feedback also, later. I give you time, so 2 minutes, and then top guy gonna tell bottom person that's what was good, what could have been better. Okay, so feedback always is necessary. If you engineer, you know that, always feedback loops, So it has to be programmed into jiu-jitsu also. You have to train every day with the feedback. Otherwise, it's very hard to get better. So, anyway, so drill would look like this. So panda, they will move, or I will move them. So if there's a weight difference, consider this. So they can do their own thing, or I can pull and push them also. And just, let's say, everything towards the mat first. They are like a running man, panda, and stuff. And only elbows. So, let's go. So I keep the pressure, and they can move around. So I look for elbows, look for stuff. I'm looking for elbows with turtle. So always following. So I'm looking for mistakes during transitions. I'm hunting that. Later it's easier to get kimuras and seatbelts. So it's really stubborn drill. I'm only looking for one thing because that makes my attacking better. So let's go underhooks. Yeah, keeping the pressure. I want to be in the moment. Let's go slowly. I'm looking for stuff. Looking for stuff again. yeah, and goes. If somebody gets in, elbow, if you have that mistake, but don't do it today, boom, pummel it out. Like a wrestler, yeah? Boom, pummel it out. But keep that today, right, just it shouldn't come in. So, and then neck, only solely for a neck, guillotines, rear neck and chokes, whatever, seatbelt, free, you know, and then handle it. If they're good, they can go faster, but you're not, learning this, so you cannot be good at this yet. So do it slow. And I want him to have success. Okay? So, time, 2 minutes. I will do call-outs, and then we switch and feedback. Ready? And elbow. Left, let's go. Only elbows. Neck. Move around. So, bring it. I expected this. So, once more. I have to build them up, yeah? We will destroy them later. We have to build them up. Being a good partner is not like this. Neck. This is not good partner. This is just making him super confused and he can't do what he needs to do. I'm just, neck is like, neck a little bit, I want to have a neck. I like neck, maybe I wait them to move. I don't want to overwhelm them. I want them to learn. And I want them to just move around and still have a consciousness of what I have to do. You don't go like, yeah? Again, if you want to try, do it on me later. Treat your partner that they have to be better after you. And because, be afraid of that also, because they will give you feedback later. You will tell them what was good and what could be better. They will tell you feedback. How are you as a partner? Usually after that, everybody's like, oh shit, it was nice now. Because you don't want to hear afterwards, you fucking ruined my class. Because that can come to you. And you know, you don't want to be that partner. So cater them, yeah? Adaptive resistance for their needs. Okay? Let's go. Neck. Slow, slow, slow. Elbows. Only elbows. No underhooks. Keep the elbows tight. Move around. Seat belt. Try to get seat belt. That's a neck and underhook. You shouldn't get it. You should not get it, but you should try. Free. That means neck or elbows or whatever. Combination. Underhooks. Running man, panda, turtle. Do not give anybody underhooks. So, a weird argument to justify my doings is I've done jiu-jitsu 21 years. I know shit, yeah? So, I'm saying it because I know what you're thinking. What about cradles? What about hooks? What about, I know. They're all there. And that's why we're doing this. That's why I'm promoting this. It's building it up. That's why I do long weekends with seminars and stuff. So, go panda. Because with pandas and stuff, I know there's cradles. We have to deal with that. So, I do hook, so clear hook. We do elbows out, yeah? So we do this, and then if you're interested, like how do you clear hooks in turtle? I would say it's one of the easiest things to do. Yeah, so if I'm in turtle, I'm gonna give you more space so you can see. The hook goes in, put the knee on the mat. Yeah. So I just do this and I step out. Yeah, and that easy. Yeah. So first of all, I'm elbow here. If elbows are there, hooks gets in. Then I have to pummel myself in. If the arms are there, they always put the hook top of my arms, just push it out. The hooks will not get in if my elbows are there. So go hooks. See, and now I just step out. They're not getting inside of my hips. Somebody was saying there was open guard. Also, Omar was saying open guard, you know, grilled chicken and stuff. So this is a space you have to protect. So it's literally the same thing. So it's that space we need, that they need to get here, I'm here. So I push things out, I pummel and stuff, and I treat it like wrestling. pummel. I don't want like, they put arm in and then I arm lock, they do this arm lock, then I do this arm lock, then I do this arm lock. I'm like, that's complicated. They get in, I pummel it out. No more complexity. And then you can go in if you want. You can go study YouTube and go arm bars fights here. But the easy is just pummel it in. No underhooks for you. Yeah. So, and it's strange. With, if somebody would do first day wrestling class with with you guys. Usually these guys are not good wrestlers. They're just learning and stuff, and this is not our sport. Blah blah blah. We not like more jiu-jitsu, but it will basic class will be this. And everybody's fighting for underhooks. And nobody's getting any underhooks. Yeah, so that's usually how it is. If you teach wrestling right away to beginners, just try to not give underhooks away. But why is it in jiu-jitsu? We're so willingly giving everything away and then complaining jiu-jitsu is hard. Yeah? Because everything like they want, like side control stuff, like if you watch YouTube videos, everything starts, I have an underhook and a crossface. Then I resist those videos. I don't believe in those videos. It's really weird to say, and cocky, I probably get called out by that. But show me how you get the underhook and crossface on good defense. So what's the setup? I don't mind arm bars. I'm not saying nothing works, but I want to see how you get underhooks, how you get to that position that you can do a far side underhook, a far side arm bar. It's not going to be I'm giving you underhooks. So I'm really interested in setups. So because it shouldn't be that easy that everybody has just underhooks and then we go. So, and it's a weird thing in jiu-jitsu that I think we're doing it wrong. And it's very sad to say also that. So now if you have this knowledge, because there's system is bigger than this, then now you watch matches. Think about people giving up underhooks, why they're doing this, why they're getting pinned. Oh, he gave underhooks away. Yeah, maybe somebody fighting underhooks. Watch tell us what it does. So he gives away because he wants to lure people in also, but just if you feel also try this always against lighter people than you, lesser skilled people than you, at first, and then climb the ladder. Don't try it against like your own kind, your own level. Always go like lighter, 10, 20 kilos, lesser skill. Let's try it, make it work. Otherwise, you get false negatives, and you go like, it doesn't work. Yeah. So that's very dangerous because I can tell it works. I've been doing this and there's enough evidence of people and we can test and it is. Actually, the choke that Ville did to me, the gi choke, this is what we discovered like a month and a half ago by randomly. I was like, what about hooking against gi chokes? We're like, And we tried, I was like, oh shit. And this is a month and a half old. I don't care anymore. Because that side was usually like, I don't like that side, but now I don't mind anymore. So the gi chokes, it's not gone, but that posture makes it very, very difficult. So next time if you roll, if you have any open mats Saturday, just notice, if you lose or whatever, did you give away your underhook? Like a seatbelt inversion or underhook in side control, and notice that yourself, oh shit, I gave underhook away. Because now if you see this, you see it everywhere now. And it's a fun roll because now you understand why you're getting pinned. Because they can't really pin you without crossface underhook. Yeah, underhook is a necessity. Yeah, today we rolled also just underhooks and underhooks. So so now you know. And I'm not saying you have to do what I do and what I promote and everything else, but at the moment this is the only system I know that can answer as many questions that we have. We're still looking for stuff, the answer stuff, but it's pretty big. And if you don't have pandas and stuff in your defensive system, if you teach the people, you are not doing suboptimal thing. You are not giving people everything that they can have. So this you have to go for that, because that system explains more than we understand at the moment that other systems do. So we have to go with that. And maybe I'm wrong, but so far it's going that way that we're proving and going, it works. So that's my kind of cliffhanger there that I think everybody needs like suboptimal system, and so far that answers pretty big part of that. Maybe there's something else, and then we combine it into future whatever with building it. So that's my kind of intriguing question to you, like, do we want to have a suboptimal escaping system? So, so there's a problem, and I'm providing you a solution. Okay, so, but yeah, again, don't believe me, test it, blah, 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 ask questions, watch matches. So, and then if you have to, then you have to change your mind under new evidence. Yeah, there's no like I don't like it. That's not the argument. If it works, it works. I know some people don't like hawking because it's a weird position. It works. I don't know why it works like that. Yeah, this just does. So I have to go with that. So anyway, so thank you for your time. It's 4 o'clock. I don't know, some class probably. Open mat. I'm here tomorrow also, 3 hours open mat. Ask me to roll. Now you understand better what I do also when you roll with me, when I play my stuff. Otherwise, it sometimes feels like what the hell is going on. And definitely doubt. And hope to see you on another class and hope you liked it. Make you like intriguing a little bit. Yeah? So.